Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your girl, Madam President. I am so glad to be with you on this Monday morning. I just would like to say happy Monday. You know, there's no better place to be than right here with me. Okay. My background, this is my dining area because I have family here. My mother watched my dogs for me while I traveled this week. I was in mountain time. Now I'm back home. So I'm just adjusting. So I just would like to play my theme song before I go any further. All right, we have got to have a good theme song to get it going. How y'all feeling this Monday? As for me, I am coming alive. I'm so glad to be coming alive with you every single day, weekday, Monday through Friday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Oh, yes. So there were a few things that happened this weekend. Before we go any step further, do not forget to let me know where you're from. Drop it in the chat. You're tuned to the Madam President Morning Show. We do this weekly. This is brought to you by flynubianmoney.com. You should text 87946 if you want to keep up with Black women in media that have their own mind, have their own brain, are not worried about sponsorship to interfere with their intellectual property as it relates to truth and power. Whew. All right. Before I go any further, let me say a really quick prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for waking us up today on this Monday. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this realm of earth. Thank you for giving us everything that we need to prosper. Thank you for being a proper source in our lives. Thank you so much. Without you, nothing is possible. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Now that we have gotten that out the way, let's just say that Coach Prime, you all know Coach Prime. Deion Sanders is in the bag, as they say. Now, most people, I did a video, I think about a year or two ago, that little bit went viral about Coach Prime leaving Jackson State. But let's just say that Colorado, they are madly in love with Coach Prime. So here's what's happening recently. Don't forget to drop where you are from in the chat. Where you from? All right. I see my people on Instagram. We got some Philly, some Ohio folks. All right. So let me read you the story on Coach Prime really quickly. As you know, I always tell you, don't take my word for it. I'm going to allow you to see it for yourself. So this right here is Deion Sanders. If you can see this, say Coach Prime. Put it in the chat. Put Coach Prime in the chat. All right. So it says Deion, Coach Prime Sanders has signed a new 5-year, $54 million contract extension. Any mathematicians in the house? Anyone wants to divide 54 million by 5 and tell me how much that is a year? All right. So with that being said, reinforcing his long-term commitment to the football program, Deion Sanders, widely known as Coach Prime, has agreed to a new 5-year, $54 million contract with the University of Colorado. The deal solidifies Sanders' role as the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes and reflects the university's confidence in his vision for the football program. Since joining Colorado, Sanders has brought national attention to the losing team. They were once a losing team. Increasing ticket sales, media coverage, and recruitment momentum. His presence has been a transformative force, both on and off the field. The new contract not only rewards his impact, but also signals the school's commitment to building a competitive program under his leadership. Sanders' influence has extended beyond athletics, speaking conversations around leadership, culture, and the future of the college football. With the extension, Colorado is getting big on Coach Prime's continued rise and the future of the Buffaloes football. Wow, $54 million. I need to know if you all are here in the chat because it's so dead over here on YouTube. I need for you all to put Coach Prime in the chat. Put Coach Prime in the chat. Because what I'm about to say is politically incorrect. And the reason that I got to say this is because a spade is a spade and the truth is the truth. Jackson State had the identical ability to do the same thing. Now, the contract couldn't be $54 million because the school does not produce that kind of support, even on a global level. But people came from all over the world to see what Deion Sanders was doing with Jackson State University. I would also like to say that this is what bothers me in the Black community is thinking that we can compete against money. We can't compete against money. The reality is the producer, the people that are producing the top product on the field is Black men and women. Listen to me. The people that are producing the top product on the field is Black men and Black women. There ain't an athlete in America that is top notch that didn't come from the womb of a Black woman. Listen to me. There isn't an athlete in America that is Black and excellent that did not come from the womb of a Black woman. So all that to say that, listen to me, because I don't want to lose you. I know how you get. We produce the greatest athletes in the world. And then we have no say behind what happens next. That's a problem. When I say we have no say of what happens next, taking the boys, now they ain't got to be mine, you know how y'all get. Taking the boys, taking the young men, put them in Colorado, bringing all that money, all that fame back into a predominantly white institution is what neutralizes us as a people. I know when I talk like this, y'all don't like it, but I'm talking truth. And the reason that I'm talking truth about this is because what can neutralize a group of people? Fame, wealth. This is what neutralizes you. This is why your kids don't want to work at your store. They don't want what you have given them because there's a society that's neutralizing you all the time. There's a power that's neutralizing you. You just get stuck. You don't have no power. When they start coming and they start talking millions. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you millions of dollars. Why you want to give me millions? So you can continue to make hundreds of millions. So my sons can be at your school. So my daughters can be at your school. This is why we give you millions. So you can never be in a competitive state with us. I will give you $54 million if it is going to neutralize your athletics for a lifetime. This is why I don't like it. I'm not saying that it's a horrible idea, but I'm saying this is why I don't like it. Because it will take $54 million, $100 million to just neutralize athletics in the Black community. Just neutralize it. We don't want them to believe. When Coach Prime was at Jackson State, they were shaking in their boots. The reason they were shaking in their boots is because this man was taking top tier premium talent and bringing it back to Jackson, Mississippi. What? Who wants to be in Jackson, Mississippi? But that's how convincing and powerful he is. that people will follow him wherever he goes. So when they saw that he had this power, he transformed an entire sports program. They said, okay, let's go ahead and we like that. We like what he doing. But see, here's the thing. While we be on a season, while we talking 5 seasons, they be prepared for 5 centuries. 5 centuries. I will give you $54 million if it's going to neutralize you in sports for 5 centuries. Yes, I will continue to have the power to be the head coach. Yes, I will be over athletics. Yes, your sons will still have to go through me to enter into Division I sports. Yes, I am still going to be in power. If it's going to cost me $54 million, I will give it to you because I will ensure that I will stay in power. Money ain't a thing. I took your grandmama and had her as my product. Money ain't a thing. So when you got a people that knows that money ain't a thing, how you gonna meet me with money? Money. I will continue to neutralize the community with money. They will never compete. All we do, we sit around, talk about, oh, we ain't got no black head coaches. We ain't got no black head coaches in the NFL. Well, stop. Well, our sons can't play. That's how it goes. Our sons can't play. There's no head coach. There's either we get 50-50 on the black head coach side, or we no longer allow our sons to play in the league. That's how it goes. Oh, you're just talking crazy. How am I talking crazy when this is how it panned out for you? It was against the law. This is why I keep telling you compliance, the power of compliance. When it was illegal for Black people to go to certain schools and play and be a part of certain schools, white people, white children, white women, and white men were compliant to that. Oh, you don't supposed to be in here. It's even 2025. You all see the videos where a Karen, as they say, a Karen would see somebody walking around in a neighborhood or somebody in their hallway, and they would say, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" They would say, "What are you doing here?" This is a social construct that they have to keep their spaces theirs, to ensure that there is no invasion in what belongs to them. This is a social construct, a social code of conduct that they have that you don't have. So when I'm talking about this monetary thing, and y'all talking to me, oh, he signed $100 million and he got $150 million. This is why the numerical numbers don't mean the same to me as it does to you. The reason that it doesn't mean the same to me is because I know that because of a social societal construct, that a young white man who makes $40,000 can have as much access to a Deion Sanders just because of race in our country. But a young Black man can never have the same because of race in our country. Now, I'm one of those people, I don't believe that you have to catch a ball, throw a ball, be tall to be important. I think you're important. I think you're important. You don't have to prove to me that you are extremely wealthy to be important. I think that you are important. I think that you are valuable. I think that God made no mistake when he made sure that you saw today. I don't believe that. But the fact of the matter is, I keep trying to make sure that I'm clear on y'all want to play a money game and you can't play a money game. One of the reasons that one of the reasons that we sit on the sideline and be like, and we ain't got no Black coaches, is because of ownership and what they're willing to do to ensure that they stay in positions of power. I will give you the funky 54 million if it's going to neutralize Black athletics? That ain't nothing to me. I don't care. I'll give you $100 million. It don't matter to me. Henrietta Lacks. I don't mean to get all scientific on you, but Henrietta Lacks. This woman went into the hospital because she had cancer. She was in pain. And I know that HBO made it look all nice because, you know, they had showed the story of Henrietta Lacks, and they had a few celebrities playing Henrietta Lacks's life and her daughter's life. But I want to tell you that I had saw the black and white documentary on Henrietta Lacks, and her brother, he was an old man who was on camera. He said she would just moan. Stay with me, I promise you. I'm gonna take it home. Her brother says she would just moan. She would just moan in pain. And he said she just would say, "Ooh, Lord, I can't get no ease." And behind, "Ooh, Lord, I can't get no ease," she gets to the hospital. After she gets to the hospital, they determined that she had these special cells. They call them HeLa cells, HeLa. And behind the cells, what you would discover is once they would take one cell, it would duplicate. They called it magic. They hadn't seen it before. This is Black women's contribution to science. Without her consent, without her okay, they took the cells and started shipping it all over the world, just constantly duplicating her cells to the point they put her cells in makeup. They put her cells everywhere. Her cells is the base of a lot of science in today's world. In 2024, this is how magical the woman's body was. In 2024, I am sitting in Iceland with family, talking to an Indian woman and her family about science. Her husband was an engineer. She was a science engineer something. Can't even remember the title. But she brought up HeLa cells. HeLa. She also explains why it's HeLa. Most cells, scientifically, if you're interested in learning anything, they will take the first two letters of your first name and the first two letters of your last name. So Henrietta first two letters are HE. And for her last name is LA. So that's why they're HeLa. And that's universally around science. That's universal. So anyways, she starts talking about how many years they've used the cells. This is in 2024. The woman been dead 4 or 5 decades. So all that to say that we mass produce the world, and then we sit on the sideline and complain. We are contributors of the world. Stop acting like you in handcuffs all the time. Stop acting like you mentally disabled all the time. Stop acting like you just don't know anything about money. This is why I can literally go outside right now. This is the society that we have created. I can go outside right now and give a person $500 and a gun and tell them, go shoot this person. And they will. This is the world that you live in. Somebody will take you out for $500 and a hit just for money. And y'all be clapping every time somebody gets some more of it. I keep telling you, God's currency is people. God can't do nothing with your money. You can't. You ain't stabbed so many people in the back for money. You over here, job got you knotted up in the stomach for money, and it still ain't enough. You still need some more. So I don't let people talk money to me all the time. You know, I know it's essential. I know that we have to have it, but I don't want you to think that $54 million means something to them the way it means to us as a people. Now, I've been on this story too long, so I'm just going to move on. But, hey, that's just me. Don't forget that I'm Madam President, and we do this every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I saw this new Florida child labor bill will let your 14-year-old work overnight in required meal breaks for 16 and 17-year-olds, loosening child labor laws. So I thought this was very interesting because, a new Florida Senate bill, SB 918, proposes loosening child labor laws by allowing 14-year-olds to work overnight and removing mandatory meal breaks for 16 and 17-year-olds. It would also permit teens to work unlimited hours during the school year. Supporters, including Governor Ron Santos, argue the bill could help address labor shortages caused by the removal of undocumented workers. So to have an unlimited amount of hours as a 14-year-old, as a 16-year-old is insane. Okay? But what I really want you all to see is this is the world that we have created. So I want you all to have an understanding about first of all, if you could see this in the chat, put working kids in the chat. Just drop working kids in the chat. If you can see it in the chat, just drop working kids in the chat. There is no reason that a 14-year-old, there is absolutely no reason that a 14-year-old should be working overnight. A 14-year-old should not be working overnight. But this is what I want you all to see is how they are governing the world. They're shifting all of this. So 1 minute it was your kids had the right to change their sex. If a kid don't feel like they want to be a boy, they can be a girl. Now they telling you the kid's going to be working. This is because this is how you hijack children from grown people right before their eyes. Hijack the children. These my kids now. They going to do what I tell them to do. Huh? You're giving kids okay to work unlimited hours, 14 years old. But here's the thing. These same kids can't decide what school they can go to because of how the zoning is set up. Don't play games with these people. This is my thing. Don't play games with these people. This is one of the reasons that the country is in the political state that it's in, is because we play too many games. Now, this is the same country that said that, it has a thing for children. It doesn't. I don't ever want you to think that this country cares about children. No, it does not. Because if you care about children, then you care about the father and you care about the mother. So because you care about family. And we proved that in the 80s when they decided that Black women who were on welfare couldn't receive welfare if a man was in the house. Now, this was a crazy construct socially, because how the heck you going to deny a Black woman from having a man in the house when there's children there? So there were men that wanted to be present, that knew that they couldn't be present because they were going to interrupt some kind of financial assistance from the government. Now, what kind of government want to control how a house is ran when family is supposed to be at the root? Y'all don't see the psychological side of keeping people mentally and psychologically enslaved to money? Oh, you want some money? So let me tell you how you're going to run your house if you want some money. You can't have any men around. Now, if you look at it today, I'm sorry, I just got to call the truth the truth. If we fast forward to how many of your mamas and your aunties ain't got no man, but Jesus. That's their man, Jesus Christ. The dysfunction, the psychological dysfunction. And if we fast forward to like this current moment of the discourse between men and women, let me tell you something. You do not have to desire a man sexually, a woman sexually, to have value, to what each of them bring to the world. That means that there is respect from the root for the man. There is respect from the roots for the woman. All right. I just be doing too much, and y'all don't be talking back to me enough to make me feel like I'm just in here by myself. You know, I don't want to be in here by myself. I'm just saying that there is not this society. How do they run this world? But the level of consistency that they were willing to put into ensuring that you never relied on him. The level of consistency that they put into ensuring that you never relied on her. But keep producing my athletes, keep producing my entertainment, keep producing that. I want you to produce that. I desire you to produce that. But no, I don't really care if y'all really come together and have real unity and have real family. But I desire you to keep producing my fastest athlete. I want you to produce that. Y'all don't see it? Do y'all not see it? Y'all let a country tell you, and this is crazy. You let a country tell you that your boy can become a girl and your girl can become a boy, and now they can work for it overnight at the age of 14. Huh? That sounds like somebody is coming to take your kids from you. Somebody is coming to, I don't care what your mama say. I got full control over your kids. This is why I don't play games about children. Stop playing. Children are capable. They're mentally able to digest, to understand what's going on. Stop giving them the game and letting them overconsume the game. Give them something to read and comprehend and understand, and let them know, hey, you got to think. Because if you don't start thinking, somebody is going to think for you. And when somebody starts thinking for you, this is the thing about what they talk about rebellion and behavioral things, is that you will have a son or daughter who don't want to listen to nobody. And my mama used to tell me all the time growing up, you gonna listen to somebody. And it's what happens to our children. You have allowed them, they don't listen. It's one of the things that they just refuse. This is why we get so caught up in so many things outside, we can't fully put the energy into what needs to happen inside the home all the time. But it needs to be separate. We have to put the energy to inside the home. This is your only safe haven. Your home is where you thrive. Your home is where you live, you breathe, you take your clothes off, you relax, you have your prayer, you have your dreams, you have your thoughts. Invest in your home. You got your kids coming to a place, there is no peace here. They don't want to be at home. It's hell at home. It's hell outside. We can do better. We can do better. I'm not in favor of children working. I'm not in favor of 14-year-olds working for this system. Absolutely not. I'm not in favor of 14-year-olds working for this system overnight, nonstop. Yes, I do think young people can have access to responsibility and working, but they also have to have some reward. You know, having kids work and then the mama take the check because it can help with the rent, that's not a good balance. You know, no, that's not a great balance. We want to teach, we want to get all of the families in a place that is sustainable and healthy, where the children don't feel like they have to also take on a load. Anyways, I'm going to move on to this story because I want to just talk about the social media produces a lot of ignorance. Sometimes people just don't even have an understanding of how people don't even lack understanding in how they just do dumb stuff and they think that it's okay. I want to share this story with you. Let me know when you.
Now you see them and now you don't. We blur the video.
So this was a story. 3 women dine in at a Chicago
to celebrate a birthday and left behind one heck of a surprise. They decided to dine and dash after greasing their fingers on chicken wings, eating Alfredo, and washing it all down with flights of drinks.
Now you see them and now you don't. We blur the video because the trio hasn't been charged yet, but you can't miss that distinctive blue wig and the massive tab they left behind.
The server went to the table. They asked for the ticket to be split. She left from this table behind me to a few steps away, clicked the button. As she left, they got up one at a time and walked out.
3 days ago, the 3 women from Rochester, New York visited Soul Vibes in the Near North neighborhood to celebrate a birthday and left behind a surprise, an unpaid tab of over $200.
They actually ran out the door and ran and hid behind a service vehicle that was in traffic.
They decided to dine and dash after
2 days ago, 3 women from Rochester, New York were here in Chicago to celebrate a birthday.
Devouring chicken wings, Alfredo, and washing it all down with flights of drinks.
It's not violent, but it's a crime, and it affects us, and it affects our bottom dollar, and it affects our team members.
They were spotted on surveillance, leaving one by one within 30 seconds of the server stepping away. They also forgot that they signed up on the wait list before being seated, including their name and phone number. And to add insult to injury, they posted this onto social media, thanking the restaurant for the free food while laughing at waitstaff like Chloe Jackson.
I'm here 3 days a week.
Their greedy crime comes with a much heavier cost.
Some places do make the servers come out and pay for those bills, but Fab and Soul Vibes here, they don't make us pay for it. Well, that's really grateful because $300, $400 could really break our bank for that day.
Sadly, dine and dash incidents are on the rise. The owners run 2 Soul Vibes locations and 3 I Can't Believe It's Not Meat restaurants. And in the last 6 months, they've seen an uptick in these type of incidents. These are just a few of the incidents they've recorded.
It's an industry of pennies and nickels. So when you get these dine and dash incidences, you know what I mean? You know, the consumer or the people that are doing this dine and dash might think, oh, it's just $100. Yeah, but it's hurting the bottom line.
Now, a police report was made. Chicago police are now investigating. If charged, the suspects could face a Class A misdemeanor for theft of services under the amount of $500. That's punishable by up to 1 year in jail and a $2,500 fine.
Few of the incidents they've recorded.
It's an industry of pennies and nickels. So,
all right. So here's the reality here. If you cannot afford to go to dinner and pay for it, then don't. This is just simple. If you can't afford to go to dinner and pay for it, then don't. Here's the part I'm not sure if you all saw. There's the part that you probably missed is what the girls were so silly that they had to put in their phone number because they had to wait to get seated. So they gave them the phone number and email address, whatever it is that's required to be seated. Then they ate the food and left and ran out with the food after eating. But here's what I wanted to say about this, and then I'm going to leave for the day. What I want to say about this is when you go into establishments and people start treating Black folks real crazy, like we're about to run out, these experiences help that scenario. When you have environments where we do this to one another, all it does, it penalizes everybody else who comes into the establishment. I saw this story. I'm from Chicago, born and raised. You all know that. So when I saw the story, I just was like, this is ghetto. You know, like either pay for the food or don't eat there, you know, but don't go around dining and dashing. That's insane. All right, that's my time. I want to let you all know I appreciate you so much. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of housekeeping today because that one story had me going too long. But this is Madam President Show on flynubianmoney.com. You should text Queens to 87948 if you want to get your mind up as well as if you want to get your money up. It's important. Also, I really appreciate you. I am an author. I wrote a book called Matters of the Heart. If you feeling up to it, go to madampresident.com where you can download a free journal as well as download my book and sign up for my course. And that's on Saturday at 10 a.m. I'd just like to say that I appreciate you all. I enjoy connecting with you every morning, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I got to get to my day job. So y'all have a good day, all right? I'm out. Bye-bye.